You already know the answer. You just refuse to accept it. The deepest deceptions aren't whispered by enemies, but crafted by those you trust, systematically dismantling your very perception of reality. What if the most intimate corners of your mind are not your own, but a carefully constructed illusion? The subtle erosion, planting seeds of doubt. Okay, so remember that fleeting moment you felt like you were going crazy, but couldn't explain why. That's where it begins. It starts so small, almost invisible. You see it, right? A leader, someone with power, denies something you just saw them do or heard them say on camera even. But they stand there stone-faced, insisting it never happened. Therefore, your own memory, your own eyes suddenly feel unreliables. It's like they're telling you the sky is green, and if enough people agree, you start to squint, wondering if maybe your eyes are broken. This isn't about big lies yet. It's about tiny nudges. They'll tell you you're too sensitive. You bring up how something they said hurt you, but they dismiss it instantly, laugh it off. Therefore, you start to question if your emotional responses are valid. You think maybe I am overreacting. Why do you keep doing this to yourself? They'll casually rewrite minor past events, too. Like we never agreed on that plan, even though you distinctly remember the conversation, the details. But they'll twist it, or claim asterisk they don't recall it that way. Therefore, a tiny piece of your personal history, your shared reality, just evaporates. It creates this bizarre cognitive dissonance, a constant hum of wait, what, in your head. The first deception is always planted in the fertile soil of your own doubt. These aren't isolated incidents. They're consistent, tiny chipping blows. Each one is a speck of sand, but over time, they erode the very bedrock of your objective reality. Therefore, you begin to distrust your own judgments, your own senses. It's designed to make you question the fundamental truth of things. Not just what they asterisk say, but what you asterisk know to be true. And once that foundation cracks, that's when the real game begins. And once that foundation cracks, that's when the real game begins. See, they don't stop there. They don't just mess with what you asterisk think asterisk. They start messing with who you talk to asterisk. This is where isolation, the crucible of manufactured dependence asterisk, truly takes hold. They begin systematically cutting you off. Not with chains, but with whispers. Your friends, they're misinformed, your family. Toxic, negative, holding you back. Any outside source of information, media, books, even a different viewpoint online is dismissed as fake or misguided. Think about the last time you pulled away from a friend because someone told you they were bad for you. That was a thread being cut. Each severed connection makes their voice louder in your head, doesn't it? Suddenly, it's an us versus them world. Their ideology, their group, their leader. That's the only asterisk safe haven. Everything outside is painted as dangerous, hostile, or just utterly wrong. They create this psychological fortress around you. Inside, there's comfort, belonging, but it comes at a cost. The cost is your independent thought, your ability to question. Because once you're isolated, controlling information becomes shockingly easy. They become your sole filter. They decide what news you hear, what stories matter, what's true. Imagine living in a room where the only window shows a carefully curated projection. Everything outside is just whatever they want you to see. No conflicting reports, no dissenting opinions allowed. Your perception of the entire world shrinks down to their asterisk narrative. This leads to a terrifying, absolute psychological dependency. When the gaslighter has systematically removed all other sources of truth, all other comfort, all other perspectives, they become your everything. Your sense of reality, your safety, your very identity, it all flows through them. They become the sole arbiter of what's real, what's right, what's good for you. You don't just trust them, you need them. You start craving their validation, their approval, their version of events. And that's when you truly lose yourself. Isolation is not just a tactic, it is the environment where reality can be remade. It's how they take the subtle chipping blows and turn them into a total takeover. They've isolated you. They've made themselves the only source of truth. Now, when that deep intuition, that tiny voice in the back of your head, starts to whisper, "This isn't right," they're ready. They hit back not with logic, but with an attack on your asterisk mind. Suddenly, you're too sensitive. You're overthinking things. You're just being dramatic, or worse, paranoid. They don't address your concern, they label you. They make your internal alarm system, that natural instinct to question, seem like a flaw. A sickness. Recall a time you found yourself apologizing, even when you knew you weren't wrong. The confusion was the weapon. They might even dredge up past mistakes, old insecurities, little slip-ups you made years ago, and weaponize them. Remember when you almost lost your job over that small mistake. See, you tend to overreact. It's a cheap shot, a way to discredit any valid point you might have right now by linking it to old, unrelated failures. Your valid questions get buried under a pile of manufactured doubt. And sometimes, it's not even direct accusations. It's the environment itself. They cultivate chaos, unpredictable rules that shift daily. What was celebrated yesterday is condemned today. You can't get your footing. You try to adapt to figure out the right way, but the target keeps moving. This constant flux, this deliberate unpredictability wears you down. You become hypervigilant, exhausted, and eventually, you stop trusting your own judgment. Because in their world, your judgment is always wrong. Think about it. Imagine someone tells you your favorite color is actually green, even though you know it's blue. Then everyone around you, planted by this leader, agrees. Yes, it's green, you'd fight it at first. Then you'd question your eyes. Then you'd wonder if maybe, just maybe, you were colorblind all along. This is what they do to your reality. The insidious process unfolds. You start to internalize it. Am I really losing it? Everyone else seems to get it. Is it just me? You begin to police your own thoughts, to second-guess your most basic perceptions. Your gut screams asterisk, no asterisk, but their manufactured reality screams yes. This is the deepest cut. You become your own gaslighter, stifling your intuition before it even fully forms. You surrender. When sanity becomes a shifting target, the victim is always wrong. And that's when they truly own the landscape of your mind. Segment 4 title, Strategic Inversion. Lies as undeniable truth, okay, so they've got you questioning yourself. They've built this mental prison where you're policing your own thoughts. But it gets darker. So much darker. This isn't just about subtle manipulations anymore. Imagine for a second. What if the world around you, the very air you breathe, just started lying? Not subtly. Not quietly. But aggressively. Right to your face. This isn't about little white lies. This is about strategic inversion asterisk. This is where the most powerful leaders and cults don't just distort reality, they rewrite it entirely. Openly. Brazenly. They'll stand there, look you dead in the eye, and declare something you asterisk know isn't true. Is the absolute truth. You saw the evidence. You heard the recordings. Your own memory screams otherwise. But they insist. They demand. They tell you the sky isn't blue, but red, and every single authority figure, every trusted voice confirms it. Your eyes are lying to you. Your senses are defective. Can you feel that panic? That dizzying sense of disorientation? Suddenly, events that clearly, undeniably happened. Never occurred. They're alternative facts, fabrications. Conspiracy theories cooked up by your flawed mind. And at the same time, things that absolutely did asterisk, not asterisk happen, events entirely invented, become undeniable historical fact. You must asterisk believe them. You will accept them. There's no room for doubt. It's a constant, relentless assault on your verifiable reality. And it twists tighter. The narratives contradict themselves, not just from day to day, but sometimes within the same hour. What was an undeniable lie yesterday becomes today's sacred, undisputed truth. Then it flips again. Your mind, it struggles. It strains to reconcile what it asterisk knows asterisk to be real with what it's asterisk told to believe. That internal conflict, that desperate attempt to make sense of the nonsensical, that's the breaking point. It's designed to be. It's designed to shatter your cognitive framework. Because remember, truth is not what is. Truth is what is enforced. When they control the enforcement, they control your truth. They control you. And that's the breaking point. It's designed to shatter your cognitive framework. Because remember, truth is not what is. Truth is what is enforced. When they control the enforcement, they control your truth. They control you. This isn't just about control, though. It's about absorption. They push you to a place where the leader, the gaslighter, becomes the single, undeniable source for everything. They become your arbiter of truth, your wisdom, your moralities. Every decision, every belief, every moral line you used to draw for yourself. Gone. Replaced by theirs. They demand absolute, unquestioning devotion. Your thoughts aren't your own. Your very understanding of right and wrong, good and evil, is rewritten. And to become the ultimate arbiter of truth is to become the ultimate architect of minds. What happens if you even think about disagreeing? Dissent. It's not tolerated. It's punished. Severely. Publicly. They make an example of you. They make sure everyone sees the cost of stepping out of line. But conformity, unquestioning loyalty, that's rewarded. You get praise. You get status. You get a sense of belonging that feels so powerful, so vital. Especially after everything else has been stripped away. The leader themselves, they become untouchable. Almost divine. You'll see their flaws. We all have them, right? But in this reality, those flaws are reframed as strengths. Maybe it's unconventional genius, or tough love, or necessary sacrifice. They are beyond reproach. Any criticism, it's just haters, enemies, liars, you start to believe it. You have asterisk to believe it. This is where it gets really chilling. Your personal identity starts to dissolve. Your moral compass, the one that used to guide your asterisk decisions, your individual autonomy. It all gets surrendered. It's given over to the collective will. To the cult. To the leader. It's a profound loss. You've gone. Consider the unwavering devotion some show to figures others deem monstrous. Their reality has been entirely rewritten. You see it, right? It's not about their original morality anymore. It's about the reality that has been enforced until it feels like their only truth. Their only truth. Okay, so we've talked about how it devours your asterisk mind, right? How it snatches away your individual will. But what if it isn't just some isolated encounter with a charismatic person? What if it's bigger? So much bigger. Look at the news today. How many facts feel contradictory, yet are presented as undeniable? This is the grand scale. This isn't just about one person twisting another's reality. This is about an unseen architect, a systemic, sprawling effort to control perception, not just for a few, but for an entire population. Think about it, how media narratives shift almost in unison. How historical events get subtly reframed in textbooks or by public figures, shaping how generations understand their own past. How political discourse becomes a battlefield where truth isn't the goal, but rather the asterisk enforcement of a manufactured version of it. It's insidious. It creeps into everything, touching your daily life in ways you might not even register. And here's where it becomes a locked room. A closed loop. Because once that reality is being built, any crack in the facade, any dissenting voice, it gets systematically erased. Not just ignored, but discredited. Labeled, ridiculed, shouted down, until anyone who dares question the manufactured truth feels utterly isolated. Cut off. Their ideas aren't just wrong, they're asterisk dangerous. Think about social media algorithms, filtering out anything that doesn't fit the approved narrative. Or state-controlled media becoming the only trusted source. It creates an echo chamber so complete, you stop hearing anything else. But it goes deeper, darker. Because what happens when those in power aren't just using narratives, but actual laws? When legal frameworks and state apparatuses are deployed to enforce this manufactured reality. When protest is criminalized, when surveillance becomes omnipresent, when institutions that should protect your autonomy are actually used to dismantle it. Escape, then, it becomes almost impossible. You're not just trapped by twisted beliefs, you're trapped by the system itself. By the very structures meant to govern society. You see the bars, but they're not iron. The ultimate goal here isn't just controlling your actions. It's not just getting you to vote a certain way, or to believe a particular piece of news. It's the complete ownership of your perception, of your very understanding of what is real. Creating a self-sustaining illusion that operates for an entire population, where the lie becomes the ground you stand on. The most insidious prison is one where the bars are made of your own rewritten beliefs. You start policing your asterisk-own asterisk thoughts because anything else just feels wrong, unthinkable. The weaponization of reality is not a bug, but a feature of power. It seeks to dissolve the very ground beneath your feet, not just to control your actions, but to own your mind. But this raises an even deeper, more chilling question. What happens when the gaslighter believes their own lies? That's the terrifying paradox we must explore next.